The San Antonio Spurs may be sitting on a golden opportunity as the NBA draft draws nearer and mock boards continue to shift like desert sands. While the team already has its generational anchor in Victor Wembanyama, they now find themselves in position to potentially land one of the most intriguing big men in the class, Georgetown's Thomas Sorber. At 6 feet 10 inches and 265 pounds, Sorber is more than just another name on a list. He's a physical enforcer with a touch of finesse, rim protector, lob threat, emerging perimeter shooter. The kind of bruiser who could complement Wembanyama's ethereal, unicorn-like style with grounded, old-school power. Multiple mock drafts have linked Sorber to the Spurs at pick 14, and if that scenario plays out, it could be the type of under-the-radar steal that shapes the next great Spurs era. Thomas Sorber, the perfect counterweight to Wemby. The name Thomas Sorber doesn't yet carry the national buzz of some top 10 prospects, but if you dive into the tape and the numbers, you'll see why the Spurs front office should be salivating. The Georgetown big man averaged 14.6 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks per game in college. That's not just solid production, that's bruiser mentality meets discipline, meets upside. His build alone makes him NBA ready. This isn't a project big, who will need 3 years in Austin before he's ready to contribute. Sorber is physically built to bang with the league's elite centers from day one. And while he only shot 16% from 3 last season, his mechanics suggest long-term potential as a pick-and-pop threat. Plus, his 74% free throw shooting gives hope that he won't be a liability at the line. What separates Sorber, though, is his defensive IQ. He doesn't just block shots, he times them. He holds his verticality. He rotates like a seasoned pro. Think of what that means for Wemby, who wouldn't have to shoulder every physical matchup in the paint. Sorber could do the dirty work inside while Wembanyama floats, roams, and helps from the weak side. Let's be real. The idea of Sorber spelling Wemby, or even playing beside him in Twin Tower lineups, is tantalizing. Not just because of the fit, but because it solves a problem the Spurs know all too well. What happens when Victor needs a break or gets in foul trouble? Bleacher Report's proposed deal sends Hauser to San Antonio in exchange for Julian Champagnie, Malachy Branham, and 3 second-round picks. At first glance, that seems steep, but then you look at Hauser's resume. He's shooting nearly 42% from beyond the arc and has quietly established himself as one of the deadliest catch-and-shoot players in the game. Think of how that fits in San Antonio. De'Aaron Fox, if acquired, Wemby, Stephon Castle, or another playmaker collapsing the defense and then kicking out to a wide-open Hauser in the corner. That's lethal. More importantly, Hauser is on a team-friendly $10 million contract, gold in today's cap world. But for Boston, who are deep in the luxury tax and staring down second apron penalties that could cost them upwards of $60 million just for Hauser's deal alone, he's an expendable piece. That's where the Spurs come in. Yes, the Spurs would be giving up a pair of promising young wings and some draft capital. But if you want to accelerate Wemby's development and win sooner rather than later, Hauser is a no-brainer. Will Sorber slip to 14? Now, back to the draft. And the million-dollar question, will Sorber actually fall to 14? It's hard to say. Some boards have him going as high as number 10, others as low as number 18. It all hinges on what teams like Chicago and Atlanta do at 11 and 12. Both squads could use size, and Sorber's stock is trending up. Still, the Spurs are a franchise that doesn't typically chase up the board. They trust their evaluations. If Sorber's there, he could very well be the pick. If not, there are other bigs in the class. Guys like Yves Missy or Kyle Filipowski, who may check similar boxes. Whether it's pulling off a savvy draft day steal or making a calculated trade to bolster the roster, San Antonio has the assets and cap space to make big moves. And if they nail both the draft and a deal like the Hauser trade, look out. Because the Spurs may not just be building for the future, they might be quietly preparing to shake up the Western Conference a lot sooner than anyone expected.